Hello students, this is Mrs. Jennifer Cruz from Lilavati, Lalji, Dayal, College of Commerce. And in today's class, students, we are going to study economics, chapter number 1, Introduction to Micro and Macroeconomics. So students, before starting with this interesting chapter, let me tell you all that the total weightage of this chapter is 10 marks with option and 7 marks without option. So let us begin with this interesting chapter. So the first answer into your textbook, students, speaks about scope of microeconomics. So before understanding the scope, let us first understand the meaning of microeconomics. So students, as we all know, micro means small, okay? So microeconomics deals with the individual study, okay, of individual unit, okay? It can be an individual firm, individual price, individual household. So basically, it is known as the slicing method, wherein a detailed study of individual is done, okay? So let us now begin with the first topic, that is scope of microeconomics. So what does microeconomics cover, okay? So first 3 parts, the scope is divided into 3 main parts. First is the theory of product pricing, second, theory of factor pricing, third, theory of economic welfare. Now, product pricing is again divided into the demand analysis and supply analysis. Then we have factor pricing. We study the pricing of rent, wages, interest, profit. Then the economic welfare, we study about the efficiency in production, the efficiency in consumption, and the overall economic efficiency. So basically, microeconomics students studies the 3 basic theory. First, about product pricing, which is based on demand and supply. Second, factor pricing, which tells you about the pricing of the 4 pointers that are there. And third is it studies the theory of economic welfare. Okay. Let us now move on to the first important answer of this chapter, that is features of microeconomics. Okay, so before studying the features of microeconomics, let us first understand that micro means small. It is basically the study of individual units, okay, which is also termed as the slicing method. Okay, so basically, students, microeconomics, okay, is the study of individual units. So let us first study, okay, the features of microeconomics, and the first pointer is study of individual units. Okay, so microeconomics students, it deals with the individual unit, okay, the study of individual economic unit, that is, it studies about the individual firm, individual price, individual household, etc. Second one is price theory, okay? So microeconomic students, it deals with the determination of prices of goods and services. Third one is partial equilibrium, okay? Now, what is partial equilibrium? Under microeconomics students, one individual unit, okay, of an economics is studied in detail, okay, by isolating it from the entire economy. So, every economic unit, every individual unit is studied in detail. Next one is based on certain assumptions. So microeconomics concept students are always based on certain assumptions. Next one, we have the slicing method. So slicing method students, and what is slicing method? Under microeconomics, the whole economy is divided, okay, into smaller units and then studied. Hence, it is termed as slicing method, dividing the entire economy into smaller units. Next one is use of marginalism principle. Okay, so here in microeconomics students, it studies the change in the economic element by the last unit of consumption or by the additional unit. Hence, it uses the marginalism principle. Next one, students, is analysis of market structure. So microeconomics, it deals with understanding and analysis of different market competitors, okay? And the last one is limited scope. So microeconomics students has limited scope. Why? Only because it deals with one unit, okay, of one economic variable. Hence, it covers a very limited scope. So with this, students, we've completed the features of microeconomics. Let's have a quick recap on the points. First, study of individual units. Second, price theory. Third, partial equilibrium. Fourth, based on certain assumption. Fifth, slicing method. 6, use of marginalism principle. 7, analysis of market structure. And last one is limited scope. Let us now move on to the next slide that speaks about scope of macroeconomics. Okay, so macro, students, is the opposite of micro, which we all know. So macro, what is macro? It deals with the large economy. It studies the economy as a whole. Okay, so here in microeconomics we studied that it is slicing method. So macro can be termed as it is a lumping method, not slicing but lumping method. Now let us see the scope of macroeconomics. What does macroeconomics cover? So first one, it covers the theory of income and employment. Okay, so here in the theory of income and employment, students, we have the theory of consumption, okay, and theory of investment function, and the theories of business cycle. Okay, so we have the 3 theories in income and employment. Then we have theory of general price level and inflation. Then we have the theory of economic growth and development. And the fourth one is macro theory of distribution. Okay, so 4 main theories, students, that it covers. One is theory of income and employment, theory of general price, theory of economic growth and development, and the last one is theory of distribution. Let's move on to the features of macroeconomics. So in this particular chapter, students, both the answers, features of microeconomics and features of macroeconomics, is what you need to study very well. Okay, so let's begin. The first point is study of aggregates. Okay, so macroeconomics, students, it deals with the study of economy as a whole. It studies the aggregates. Okay, it does not studies the partial equilibrium, but it studies the aggregate form together. Next one is income theory. Okay, so here in students, macroeconomics, it deals with the concept of national income, aggregate demand, aggregate supply. Hence, it studies about the income theory in detail. Next one is general equilibrium analysis. Okay, so under macroeconomics, students, economic variables are studied at general level and not at individual or partial level. So they study it generally and not partially. Next one is interdependence. Okay, so concepts which are studied in macroeconomics, students, are interdependent to one another. Okay, they are not studied as an individual unit, but they depend on each other. Next one, students, is the lumping method. Okay, now what is lumping method? Under macroeconomics, students, the economy is studied as a whole. Okay, for example, you study the entire forest. Okay, but if you say you are studying microeconomics, so you can say you are not studying the entire forest, but you are studying about a particular tree in that forest. So macro, it studies the entire system as a whole. Next one is growth models. Okay, so macroeconomic, students, it deals with the study of economic growth. Okay, economic development of the country. Next one is general price level. So under this, students, under macroeconomics, the change in the total number of goods and services produced is considered. Generally, the total number of goods and services, or the price that has changed, is covered up under macroeconomics. Last one is, it is policy oriented. Okay, so macroeconomic study, students, is made up from policies, okay, that are to be implemented. Okay, so basically macroeconomics, it is based to form the policies which are to be implemented. Okay, so let's have a quick recap on the features of macroeconomics. So first we have the study of aggregates, then we have the income theory, general equilibrium analysis, we have interdependence, lumping method, growth models, general price level, and in the end we have policy oriented. Okay, so 2 answers, students, in this chapter is very, very important: features of microeconomics and features of macroeconomics. So with this, students, we've completed the chapter. Thank you.